Good evening. Welcome to Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Today, friends, let's think about our vision. Let's advance our vision. I have a vision, friends. I long for multi-party democracy in America. The American system is, like many say, a model for the world, both currently and throughout history. In many ways, that is indeed true. In one way, we are not the model. That is in regards to multi-party democracy. One way to find out about how the party system works in other countries is Wikipedia has a page of list of countries by list of it's something like list of political parties by country. And then it categorizes each of the countries in a number of ways. The main ways are one is one party state, one is dominant party, one is a two-party system, and one is a multi-party democracy. The multi-party democracy is what we want. The guests on this podcast, as well as election reform advocates from other places, have recommended various ways to get to multi-party democracies, such as ranked choice voting and proportional representation. So, friends, we have a lot of ways to get there, and may we get there. Some people say it's not going to happen. Some people say we need a parliamentary system. It may be a long shot, but I'd love for it to happen. Thus, the Wikipedia page can show us the possibilities that exist in other countries. A lot of countries are under multi-party democracies. It seems like that's the standard for the world. Right now, that's the high standard. And then there's countries that fail. The one-party systems are the obvious ones like North Korea and China, where there's no democracy whatsoever. And then the dominant party ones that's not a common term from what I can recall. So you may not know what that entails. What they use that term for is where technically the system allows for more than one party or perhaps multi parties, but one party is so strong it's not a multi party democracy in practice. So the one party has too much advantage. Our country is one of the rare two-party systems. We're not a dominant party. We're not a one-party system. Some people say we are a one-party system. They say, like Jello Biafra says, it's a, and other people say it's a one-party system masquerading as a two-party system. Technically, it's a two-party system, so we could say that. Thus, that is something that a lot of other countries don't have, a two-party system. There are some. So as you review this list, you can see the countries that do have that. Now, I would be more lenient and more accepting than the way Wikipedia lists these, because sometimes they consider a country a dominant party state or a two-party state when there's technically representation of more than one party. What they categorized as a two-party state or a dominant party state is when it's very rare, yet it's possible. And in this country, it's almost impossible, yet some of these other countries may have a few seats. And Wikipedia may still consider that a two-party system if there's two parties that have 95% of the seats and one party with a few seats. They would consider that a two-party system. That would be better than what we have right now as multi-party democracy goes, and thus that's something to work for. So we can do better, and most other countries are doing better. Even the countries you think of as not being very democratic in this way, a lot of them have multi-party democracies to some extent or another. So, friends, I encourage you to review this list, and we can keep working on this podcast and elsewhere for a multi-party democracy in this nation. That is my vision. May it come to pass in my lifetime. If not, then after that. May it come to pass at some time or another. Good evening.